Hey, what's up, everybody? It is Wednesday, and this is the Hit the Pick Founders Show. I about nodded off during the intro there. That's new music. At first, I thought it was that 10cc song, "I'm Not in Love." But anyway, so yeah, here we are. If you guys are all fired up, it's great. It's great to be here. Hope you're joining us live, and we'll be talking about some games that we've got coming up here in the next couple days. Maybe some weekend plays. Maybe we'll get Tom to talk a little NASCAR or golf. One of the two. We'll see what happens. I know he had a profitable NASCAR week. And by the way, let's get the plugs out of the way right up top. Make sure you stop by hitthepick.com. Running out of time, guys, coming down the home stretch on the $100 offer. So get over there. If you haven't done it yet, make sure you get over there and sign up for the website. You get $100 in site credit just for putting your name on the line, which is dotted. So make sure you check that out as well. Check out this show every week at this time, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific time. And naturally, you'll want to check out Tom and I as we do our NASCAR show every Friday. Hit the track on Friday afternoons at 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, 2:30 p.m. Pacific time. All right. Anything else?
Very, very appropriately named.
Hit the track?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all Tom right there, man. I like it. I like it. Let's talk to Tom. Tom, he was before last weekend, he was an MASL virgin, but he got his indoor soccer cherry popped, if you will, and he's here to report back. Tom, how was it?
Yeah, as you can see, I have all the gear. Got a nice scarf here. We got magnets. We got everything. Harrisburg Heat. The team's not very good, but the experience is great. I loved it.
I'm here to report that Tom was successful in finding the beer stand. We got mini shots throughout the night of Tom and the
mascot,
Harrisburg mascot. I don't know what's his name.
His name is Scorch.
Scorch. That's right. So yes, I think he was. By the end of the night, I think he was running the other way whenever he saw Tom coming. But
he might have been, or I might have saw him at the bar afterwards. You never know.
You never know. It's good to have you here, my friend.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of me after Thai food.
Scorch. Only tip I know is put your toilet paper in the freezer the night before you go out for Thai. That's all I got.
There you go.
Let's talk to somebody who's been a kind of a mysterious stranger here the last couple of weeks. We've missed him. You know him, you love him. He's the daddy of goats. It is Loud Esmond. What's up, Loud? I know you had another. What do you call it? A batch? You probably don't call it a batch.
Well, no, they're just multiple births. You just go by with triplets or quadruplets or whatever they are. So we've been very fortunate. Right now, I've got my wife has like 4 or 5 more goats that are supposed to kid before the end of the season. So maybe what I've got to do is put together a pool of the over/under on the number of goats that we're going to have before the end of kidding season is over. So we'll put that together for next week.
Okay, well, we'll definitely have something to talk about then for sure. All right, and last but not least, it's God's gift to heavy metal drumming. You know him, right. You love him. You've probably thrown your bra and panties at him. He's the what do you call yourself? Not the Thin White Duke. What were you?
The Great White Love Machine.
The Great White Love Machine. There you go.
That's right.
It's one the only Sniper West. What's up?
And with one of my favorite Valentine's Day stories ever from Wes earlier this month. So that was hilarious.
We didn't get what you individualized that story. You didn't put it in the general chat.
No, I did. I think I put it in the chat. I put it out there.
Did I not see it? All right, sorry.
I'll copy and paste it and resend it later. But yeah, it was pretty crazy. Regarding the Great White Love Machine, though, I will say I'll shout out my buddy out here. His name is Jeremy Brown, and he has actually had that nickname for many, many years, which is where I basically stole it from. But he said, as long as I call myself the Great White Love Machine Junior and he can be senior, then he's cool with it. So,
okay. Well, sorry for screwing up your intro, man. The Great White Love Machine Junior. Very good.
By the way, did we ever settle on Black Ice for Dave Murata as the nickname?
No,
I don't think you like that.
I don't think
not like Black Ice. Only you wanted it. I think we'll start calling you Vanilla Ice.
So still it's Dave Murata has no nickname and we can't explain why, but we all give him crap about it.
Well, because he turns down all the good ones.
He's got to have. He played sports when he was a kid. You know, he had a nickname on the football team or whatever. We got to figure out what it was back in the day.
Yeah, I think Loud had a nickname back in the day. It was Benchy.
No, it was wheels.
It was
No,
what?
it was wheels because I was so slow.
Oh, it was one of those ironic nicknames.
Yes, they called me Wheels because I played tight end and I was so slow. I was slower to get to a block than the lineman.
That's like
the huge guy, the 400-pound guy that they call Tony or Tiny.
Yeah. There's a lot of huge guys named Tony. I don't think that's much of a name.
Tiny.
Good. All right, let's talk some sports here, gentlemen. We'll start off with Tom. Tom is the master. He does them all. But Tom, is there any sports you don't handicap or bet on?
Tennis.
Tennis. All right, very good.
Correct.
I know we've got some we got some tennis people in the Discord. By the way,
boy, do we?
If you're a DGen and you bum out because there's nothing to bet on till like 6 o'clock, get over there to the Discord because those DGens are finding stuff to bet on all day. Soccer from Europe, tennis, handball, ping pong, whatever it is, they're over there putting wagers on it. So if you're not satisfied just making bets for like 5-6 hours a day, get over there to our Discord.
I just go there because I just enjoy watching the strange stuff that people are betting on, and God knows when. I just I just drop into the Discord and scroll up and down and go, really?
It's
in Edinburgh? Who knew?
Yeah, absolutely. A little Gaelic football, if you so desire, something like that. Tommy, what do you got coming up?
I mean, I guess if we want to talk golf first, we could do that. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this tournament. We are starting on the East Coast now. We're doing the Florida swing. This is Cognizant. I like Seb Straka to win this thing. I think he's 25-1.
Is that a real name? Did you say Seb Straka?
Seb Straka.
Oh, well,
yes.
The other one would have been ridiculous. Where's he from?
I don't know.
Okay. All
I
right,
probably should. Yeah, I probably bet on him, his nationality to win at one point. So I should probably know that, but I do not.
Another Norwegian sweep.
Nice.
25-1 on Seb Straka, and that's one of those names we'll remember because it's like if we see somebody win a tournament, like I can't remember if you talked about him or not, but if I see Seb Straka win a tournament, I'm going to remember that for sure.
Yeah, he's in good form. He's been doing well at the beginning of the season. It's not a great field. I think he's the best of the field.
Are they playing somewhere else? Is there a reason why we don't have a lot of the bigger guys?
It's not a big tournament. Next week is a signature event, so we'll have more named golfers.
All right, very good. Well, of course, he went to the University of Georgia by way of Vienna, Austria. So nothing bad ever came out of Austria. So everything should be fine. Seb Straka to win. Very good. Very good. And that's
Schnitzel is from Austria. Is that what you're talking about?
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Schnitzel. Very fine. All right. So we got our Seb Straka in our pocket at 25-1. And make sure you get that down because you got to have that bet down by Thursday morning, right?
That's correct. I think the first tee is 7:30. That's what they usually are.
I mean, we're not DGens here to the point we're going to bet golf live. Right, Tom?
Oh, boy.
I do. I usually don't give it out to the public.
Okay. All right. Very good.
I do well in live betting it.
Live golf?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, I watch a lot. I can see it's on ESPN Plus. So you can watch any hole you want, any groups you want. Pretty cool. So, yeah, I watch a lot of golf.
A lot of websites out there where you can watch any hole you want for sure. I have live bet
machine.
I have live bet the Masters before, so I'm not a stranger to the DGen lifestyle. I got to tell you. And let's give a little bonus for anybody that's watching here on Wednesday or watching this live. Anything tonight you like?
I sure do. There's a college game I like. Radford at Gardner Webb.
Mm-hmm.
So this is market play here. Line open -1.5. As Radford as a road favorite, moved up to 2.5. The movement shows to me this is an extra game. It's not very heavily bet. I think the split show that sharp side is on Radford. That's who we think is going to win. Radford has a better offense, better defense, better 3-point shooting, and what definitely helps is better free throw shooting. 3-point free throw. They're better at both.
I thought
They don't turn the ball over.
Okay.
They force turnovers. I like Radford. You can take them on the money line. You might still be able to find a stray -1.5. 2.5s are widely available.
All right. Very good. Very good. Mr. Esmond, what do you got?
Well, I got 3 hockey games tonight. I don't generally bet a lot of hockey, but this time of year, it's what I start to sort of focus in on. For me, they're the easiest games to find. They're on, from 4:00 in the afternoon here on the West Coast. And so, it's fun stuff for me. So that's really what I focus on this time of year. Jets at the Senators. I like the Jets on the money line there, even though they're playing at the set. And this game is on the ice, at home ice for Senators. Money line -148. Not terrific value, but I'm actually going to bet the other side of this too. I'm going to take the Senators +1.5 because I believe I can win both sides of this. I think this is going to be a 1-goal game, and I think I can win both sides of that bet. And when you come through on those, Tom, those are nice payouts, right?
Yeah, I like that. I actually like anytime goal scorer in that game. I didn't know if Hellebuck was going to play, but it looks like he's starting. For the Senators, Redley Gregg, his anytime goal scorer is +335. He scored twice against Hellebuck in the last 3 games against him.
Devils at the Avalanche tonight as well, a couple hours after the puck drops on the Jets at Senators. I like the Avalanche there, -141. The Devils were a long-term play for me to win the Stanley Cup this year because they've always had good offense, but they couldn't play defense. And they have really, opening the season, great goaltending, but they've got major injury problems in the net now. And I think they brought back their second-string goalie too fast. He doesn't look great. And their third-string goalie is getting beat all the time. So they've dropped something like 8 out of their last 12. And going into the Avalanche -141 on the puck line is where I'd be there. And then this is a fun play. You've got the Canucks at the Kings tonight. West Coast time, 7:30. So a little late on the East Coast, 10:30 puck drop. But I'm going to get you in bed before midnight with this bet because what it is 0 goals in the first period +165. The Kings and the Canucks are both in the bottom 10 of overall scoring and in the bottom 10 scoring in the first period. So there's a very good chance to me there could be no goals scored in the first period. Right, Tom?
Yeah, and this is Kings are at home tonight?
Yes.
Yeah, they're one of the best defensive teams, especially at home. Yeah, I like that play a lot.
Yeah, good plus money, good solid value there for sure.
For the other game,
go ahead.
Yeah, real quick,
Tom.
for that Devils game you were talking about, I like an anytime goal scorer for that one too. Arturi Lokinen. Lokinen has 4 goals in 7 games against Jake Allen. He's starting tonight. Let me see what his price is. +195 you can get him at.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll into my 3 MASL weekend picks, Scott, or you want to come back to me?
Yeah, let's come back to you. We'll save. Well, we got to save something for the big closer.
All right, we'll do.
All right, Wes, what are you on for tonight? What are you on for this week?
Well, I do agree with the Avalanche. I actually got them at -125 yesterday. They are up to, I guess Loud just said 140. They're -150 at some books, but
that's on the puck line.
No,
Yes.
Avalanche money line. Avalanche money line.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought Loud said puck line. Sorry.
My bad.
All right.
I think he liked odd. Go ahead.
So yeah, New Jersey, they just beat the Predators 5-0. So, they could have a letdown here. They're going to the altitude also in Colorado. So yeah, I mean, the Avs, they're 16-10-2 at home. So I do like the Avalanche there. I'm basically going to kind of give you some of my premiums here. And the reason I'm going to do that is because the lines have moved so much since I released them, because I released them all last night. And they just, I got Texas last night at +5.5 and they're +2.5. So that moved in my direction. I don't know if you still want to take them +2.5. I like them a lot at +5.5. The Clippers, I got at -7 yesterday. They're -9 now. I think they blow out the Bulls tonight. And the Heat are still about -3. That's a pretty good play. They just played in Atlanta on Monday, so it's kind of like a back-to-back. They're the same two teams are facing off 48 hours later. And the Hawks got the best of the last meeting. I think the Heat do well tonight. So I'll lay the 3 with the Heat. So the Heat, the Clippers, the Avalanche, and the Longhorns if you want to do the 2.5 tonight.
Any injury news on the Longhorns that has driven that number, or is that been entirely driven by bettors?
Not that I've heard of. I haven't heard of anything. So
all right, that's a significant line move.
Yeah,
in a college basketball game for sure. So all right, very good. I've got to play. I will give you my freebie because this is a really, really killer trend with the Temple overs, and I'm sure you guys have been all over this. But it's 21-6 overall for the Owls, 9-2 at home, and 14-1 in their American Conference games. Good offense and a terrible defense, and they're going to go up against a South Florida team that actually has a better offense and a worse defense. So you should see plenty of points. They landed 158 in reg over earlier in the season before they put up 33 points in overtime. Good Lord. I think this one is going to be quite a bit of fun. So if you didn't get to see my video, that was my video play for today. And I'll give out I'll give out one of my premiums here as well. I do like Georgetown catching the points against UConn. This is a UConn team that has really struggled lately, winning just 5 of their last 10 straight up and going 3-7 against the numbers. They have been awful at home as far as covering the spread. And Georgetown has been pretty much undervalued a lot this season, especially on the road. They've covered against Syracuse, Marquette, St. John's, and Villanova away from D.C. I like them catching 12 and a hook here tonight against UConn. All right. All right. Let's talk a little MASL. And I know we joke about it a lot, but a lot of times you find real opportunities in these under the radar sports. Everybody's betting ACC basketball. Everybody's betting Duke and all those games, and the lines are pretty much just carved in stone. But there is real value to be had in the MASL, especially you can line shop. You find a lot of disparity. Loud, tell us what you got and tell us kind of the strategy that you employ when you're looking at some of these under the radar sports. Don't forget to hit your mute button, my friend. First time on Zoom. Nope. Still nope.
All right.
There you go.
There we go. So first things first, Major Arena Soccer League, only about 4 states that you can actually bet on the games. Now, you can play fantasy on players and so forth also in a lot of places. But as far as straight up, money line, goal scored, that sort of thing against the spread. There's only 4 states, Maine, Maryland, Arizona, and Colorado, where you can legally bet on Major Arena Soccer League. More coming soon, hopefully, but that's where it is right now. There
was a key word in that sentence you just said.
Legally.
That's right. It's carrying a lot of weight there. So
just saying.
So let's say everybody's going to be going to one of those 4 states very soon, if you know what I mean.
Right.
What do you got for this weekend?
Okay, so there's a couple. One of these games is the Utica City Football Club at the St. Louis Ambush. The line, I don't think, has caught up with the fact that the Ambush traded away their best scorer, their best player yesterday. Frank Tayu was traded unceremoniously from the team because he became a locker room problem because he's scoring a lot of goals, but the team isn't winning. And he was being very loud about that complaint. And so he's been unceremoniously dumped. And you've got Utica City, who is kind of a better team than the Ambush anyway. They're catching +1.5 goals. at minus 215, but they're plus 153 on the money line. So I'm going to take. I'll be all over Utica City FC plus 153 on the money line there, and then you've got the San Diego Sockers, who are perennially one of the best teams. They actually were out of the playoff picture early in the season, and people were kind of sleeping on them a little bit because they had a bunch of injuries beginning of the season. They have an older team. They rested a lot of players. Now they look like if they win out, they're going to be one of the top two teams. They're going to be number 2 behind the Chihuahua Savage. And the first 2 teams in MASL get a bye for the playoffs for the first round. So they're going to want to get that. They are at the Tacoma Stars on March 1st. They are catching 1.5, and they're 150 plus 150 on the money line. Again, if you want to catch the 1.5 at minus 168, fine. But I'd be playing the Sockers on the money line here, plus 150 on that. And then Tom's favorite, the Harrisburg Heat, are at the Baltimore Blast. Now, Harrisburg in this game is catching 5.5 goals. That's a lot. And I just don't. Harrisburg isn't winning much, but they're not losing by a lot when they lose. So they're catching plus 107 at plus 5.5 goals. I would definitely be on that. And then also their goal total for the game is only 4.5. They're good for 5 or 6 or 7 goals in this game. So I would be on the over Harrisburg 4.5 goals also. So to recap, on the 28th, this Friday, you want to be on Utica City FC to beat the St. Louis Ambush. That's on the money line plus 153. The Sockers on March 1st at the Tacoma Stars. Sockers on the money line plus 150. And then, as I just said, take the beloved Harrisburg Heat and Scorch at plus 5.5 goals and over 4.5 goals for the game.
All right, very good.
And there's something, let me just mention about this league that everybody needs to understand, which is the Chihuahua Savage have a number of players that cannot play in the United States because they don't have visas. Because this league doesn't get the same exception that, say, Major League Baseball or golf or some of the other major leagues get. And so there are players that that are on the Mexico squad, Chihuahua, who cannot play in the United States. Then there are players that are not playing for a team currently in Mexico that teams rent when they go play in Mexico. So there's a bunch of guys that used to play for the other team in Mexico who are great players, but there's only so many spots on the Chihuahua Savage, and they can't play in the United States because they can't get visas. So like the San Diego Sockers, when they went down to play the Chihuahua Savage last week, their team was made up of 4 or 5 guys on their front line who they rented for the game, who are Mexican national players. So you've got to watch out for things like that in leagues like this. And, a lot of teams, their travel budgets are limited. So also finding out who's actually traveling for the team and how many players they're sending can be something you can find out as well. And, it will change how you're betting on certain games, because certain teams, they're low enough budget that they're like, yeah, we're not going to beat this team anyway. So we're not going to send all of our players. So then a team is going into a game that they're normally going to lose anyway, and they're going in shorthanded because they're trying to save the money. So it's a bit like Slapshot, except soccer. And so it really makes it fun to bet on this stuff.
How many of them are members of the Sinaloa Cartel? Any idea?
I don't know, and I'm not going to ask or comment.
Okay, fair enough. All right, very good.
I do live on the West Coast, so please leave me out of this conversation.
The San Diego Sockers, did they just not fill out the forms? Did they leave the team name blank? It's with San Diego Sockers, I guess. Okay, great.
It's SOCK.
Yeah, I know.
SOCK.
Which that makes even less sense. Like, so that means they have socks, like the Red Sox, White Sox.
And you know what's funny? The Sockers are the most popular team in the MASL and the only team with the only MASL dedicated stadium.
That's where the championship's being played, I guess.
Yes.
For the playoffs.
Yeah.
They built a stadium just for indoor soccer, nothing else, huh?
Yeah, that's it. They're the only team in the league with a dedicated stadium for just major arena soccer. And it has secondary uses, which is concerts and so forth. But all the other teams play in somebody else's arena.
Well, and I think Kansas City, I think they probably split it. You could call that a split arena because they play there with the minor league hockey team as well. So they've got a pretty good setup there at the Cable Dahmer Arena.
Yeah, most of the teams play on hockey rinks.
Yeah, and they most of them do put some sort of carpet or grass down, so it's not nearly as much fun.
No, it's not. It's not like they're playing on ice. But again, major arena soccer plays more like hockey than it does soccer.
Yes, absolutely true. A lot of shots, a lot of ball movement. We saw
penalty kicks, playing shorthanded.
We saw the goalie get the first 2 assists of the game that I went to see. The KC.
Yeah, I got a goalie goal. So
you got a goalie goal?
Yep.
Nice. So yeah, it's a lot of fun for sure. I went to see last time I was at the arena, I saw Billy Strings. So it's a wide variety of entertainment you'll see at some of those places as well. How many does Harrisburg seat, Tom?
I have no clue. But
did they do an announced attendance? It looked a little.
I mean, they may have. Yeah, it was. They don't have the best fan support there, or at least not the night I was there.
They went, "Oh, Tom's going to be there. We need to stay home."
Well, Wes, you've been at the Toyota Arena where the Strikers play. I mean, that's a Class A facility.
Yeah, no, it's where the Kings, the LA Kings minor league hockey team. And yeah, no, it was very nice. I'd say probably like at least, what do you think, 10, 15,000 people you can get in there?
I think the capacity is like 12,000.
Okay.
But it's a beautiful arena. And,
yeah.
You know, I had season tickets to the team is called the Ontario Reign, the hockey team. And when I lived in that area, I did have season tickets for the Reign.
Very good. All right. Anybody else got anything who's been hot? Tom, what are you hot at? What are you dominating?
Really, NHL has been my best sport right now. I think I'm on a 6-1 run.
Nice.
I'm good in everything. College basketball. Yeah, I post everything. I do well.
Yeah, you put some up there. Loud, what have you been dominating?
Haven't really been dominating anything, as you guys have said. I'm just sort of getting back into it. Right after the Super Bowl, I got super busy and just have not, and basically also just needed a break. And so I hadn't been posting until just very recently. Again, now I've been putting in some hockey plays over the last couple of days. We'll see. Next week, I'll have a much better idea of how I'm doing in the NHL.
Yeah, good luck trying to get a hold of Loud during GOAT season.
Yeah.
Wes, what about yourself?
NBA, man. NBA has been my bread and butter all season long. I think I'm 61, 62%. And I'll give you a play for tomorrow. I like the Mavs. They're laying about 10 right now. This could be a premium play too. But obviously the Mavs, they just played the Lakers last night with the whole Luka situation. One thing to remember, though, the Mavs, they actually lost to the Hornets back in January. So the Mavs have some revenge there. And obviously with the loss to the Lakers, which actually the Mavs did cover, and I had them to cover that game. But, still no Anthony Davis, but that's okay. I think that the Mavs are going to come out and want to make a point. And also they're trying to, not be in the play-in for the tournament. So I'm going to lay 10 with the Mavs more than likely tomorrow. That'll probably be a premium.
By the way, when we're doing this show 4 weeks from today, we will have football to talk about because the UFL starts 4 weeks from now. And so there will be football to talk about. And I am going to be covering the UFL very closely. I cover spring football very closely every year. As everybody knows, football is my thing. And right now, this is like, I always get a little bit depressed for a couple weeks right after the Super Bowl because I'm like, there's no football. I'm so sad. But I've got the UFL to look forward to. And, the UFL, once that season starts, they don't end until 4th of July weekend, which this year I think their game is going to fall on like the 6th or 7th or something, their championship. And then 3 weeks from them, you're looking at NFL preseason.
Yeah.
So, football season kind of starts again in 4 weeks, because you'll have the UFL, playing a full slate of games, so at least 4 games a weekend for 10 weeks, and then the playoffs. And then after that, you're looking at futures and over-unders and things like that, and then preseason NFL betting.
Yeah.
And we're off and running. So
we got CFL too. By the way,
yeah,
I
CFL as well. Yeah,
they crushed CFL last year. I had a really good CFL season.
and the CFL season starts when?
I want to say June.
Right, because they play when it's not freezing cold in Canada. Right.
Although they end up like in November, right?
Right.
They do.
There's
The
some
Grey
plenty
Cup is
cold-
usually
there's some
around
plenty
November.
cold games up there in November.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Well, and we'll as it gets closer. Any of you guys do draft props? NFL draft props?
Yeah. Been
Sure.
known to do 1 or 2.
Okay.
We don't get them in Pennsylvania.
What?
We don't get draft props in Pennsylvania for any sport.
What kind of backwoods? You guys have everything else. You have
We do
sports
have
betting,
everything else.
You have sports betting. You have dispensaries. You have Philly
They
cheesesteaks.
have
We got
Kraken.
poker.
They have Kraken.
Fracking and more on the way.
Oh, yeah.
More fracking coming.
Yeah, if you-
By the way, best TV show, if you haven't been watching it, is Landman. Freaking
Okay.
fantastic.
I agree.
What's that, Paramount?
I watch that all the
Yeah.
way through. Yes, yeah, that's our unsolicited TV recommendation for the week. I will second that. I love Billy Bob anyway, so anything with Billy Bob is extra good. And Landman is it's kind of fun. So, and I actually have not my son-in-law, but they've been together a long time. Boyfriend of my daughter, he works in the oil field, so now I get to annoy him with all these new oil field terms. He's out there on the pad, and all that stuff. So it's
And he's definitely not the worm.
he's definitely not the worm. No, his dad owns the company, so much like him, but his worm days are over.
There you go.
So, all right. I have been doing well at college basketball, so make check that out.
Oh, by the way, St. Mary's Gales, 2 more games to cash on them. They've got Loyola Marymount University tomorrow and Oregon State on March 1st. They've just been. Is it because the team is all white, Scott, that everybody underestimates them?
I don't know why you're asking me, Loud. I tend not to weigh in on those kind of activities.
No, I'm just. You and I were talking the other day, and you were saying that St. Mary's has been consistently cashing for you all season.
Yeah, they've been.
And I think people
very good.
just are continuing to underestimate how good that team is, because generally when St. Mary's gets into the tournament, they lose in the first round. And I don't think that's going to be the case this year. I think they're a much better team.
Well, I think probably a better reason may be the fact that a lot of the country doesn't get exposed to them. They play late at night, and if you're in the Central or Eastern time zone, Gonzaga gets all the pub in that conference. All the other teams that are pretty good, San Francisco, St. Mary's, even Santa Clara jumped up and beat Gonzaga this season. So I just don't think that I just don't think they're part of the ecosystem, and that's good for us because those numbers don't get affected as much as they do, like in a Gonzaga game. That's totally fine and keep them under the radar. I think the country's about to find out about them here in about 3 weeks.
AI says
They already clinched, yeah. They won.
Yeah.
They won their conference.
They won the conference.
there is the AI says that the generalization that St. Mary's Gales basketball is too white is often used to highlight a perceived lack of diversity within the student body at athletic teams at St. Mary's, which feature an unruly and large number of white Republicans.
No wonder you like them.
So I went there,
No wonder you went there.
and my dad went there. So
They had to let you in. You were a legacy.
He graduated in 49 on the GI Bill, and I graduated in 1989, exactly 40 years apart.
And in all fairness, you could probably say the same thing about the Wisconsin Badgers.
Yeah.
Well, but then, when you think about the Gales name, a badger is just a harmless animal, where the Gales nickname itself is linked to Irish heritage, which could contribute to the perception of a predominantly white student body.
I'm not sure a badger is what you would call a harmless animal. They have pretty sharp teeth, and they're not especially the honey badger, because he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, but they're not carnivores.
What?
In terms of eating human beings, they don't eat humans generally.
Is that what a Gale does?
Well, a Gale is an Irish knight.
It's an Irish knight.
Yeah, see, people always think Gale and it's the wind. No, this is Gael, Gael, which is short for Gaelic, which is Irish knight. That's why they have the knight on their as their mascot. A Gael is an Irish knight.
What about the Fighting Irish? Do they really like to fight?
Well, I am Irish Catholic, and the saying is, it's not a wedding party until grandma kicks somebody's ass.
All right. Well, I'm going to end this dangerously close to racist conversation before we dig ourselves a bigger hole. Good to have you back, Loud. Really is. That's
there are African American players on St. Mary's. I'm just saying it's.
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Worried about that.
Yeah, throwing it out there.
Okay. Cooper DeJean says hello, by the way. He did a good job this year, Tommy.
Yeah, he's nice.
Good return man.
We have him for a while. Great.
Yeah.
He's great. We have him for a while.
Lock him in for sure. All right, guys. Hey, this has been the Founders Show. It's always been it's always a pleasure to come before you. We missed David Delano today. We promise we will have a nickname for him by when? For the first football game? Have a nickname for him?
Well, he's got to figure it out. I tried Kung Fu Grip and he didn't like that, and then Black Ice and he rejected that too.
All right, so maybe you stop suggesting nicknames, and the rest of us will work on it. All right, any more goats coming this week, buddy?
We'll see. Maybe this weekend, but like I said, we've got 4 or 5 still pregnant goats, and so get an over/under number out. They could have anywhere between 1 and 4. So I'll get an over/under number out next week.
9.5.
Okay.
All right, guys. As always, don't forget to stop by hitthepick.com. Pick up your free $100. Pick up premium plays. We got free plays over there. We got videos at our YouTube channel. Check out the Discord. Tom is the ringmaster over there on the Discord channel, and a lot of times he has his hands full. Has to get out the whip and the chair and keep everybody in line. But it's a lot of fun and a lot of good information there on the Discord as well. Did we ever get our X problem solved?
Yeah, we're good on X.
What are we now?
Pick wins at Hit the Pick Wins.
At hittthePickWins.com. No, not .com. It's at the Hit the Pick Wins over there on X. So check that out as well. And all of us here do daily videos with the exception of Loud, but Delano does daily videos. So check those. You don't do videos. You've said you don't.
I haven't been in the last couple of weeks. I did all through football season. Come on now.
Okay. Amanda's
not. I will get back to it.
Okay. All right. Very good. Maybe put some of those goats in the picture. These are really darling goats. They're tiny little goats with stumpy legs. And people, they take them to goat shows. Is that right?
Yeah. Just like you have dog shows, or we have goat shows, and you start at your local goat show, and then you move to statewide, and then if you win, you move on to the nationals. So the nationals are in Northern California this year. So we actually have one goat that has a chance of being a grand master. We have a 3-year-old named Jumpin' Jack Flash, or JJ.
Why not JJF?
Yeah. Jumpin' Jack Flash or JJ. It's my daughter's favorite show goat, and she's done very well with him. So, you know what? We should take some. We should. I should handicap the goat final.
Oh, absolutely. I was just going to say, can you bet on it? Is there lines on goat? You can only bet in 4 states.
Yeah.
On the goat finals. Do they run like the obstacle courses like the dogs do?
No, it's a beauty pageant.
Oh, that sounds delightful. I would love to see tiny goats in bikinis. That is excellent.
So just saying.
I understand they don't do as well on the question and answer portion.
Well, they have to be able to count it out. You can only ask them questions that are multiple choice.
I see. All right, this is a real thing, ladies and gentlemen. He's not kidding. We are not that creative. We could not make this up. It's the GOAT show. Does it cost money to get into the GOAT show?
Yeah, there's entry fees, but then you can win money back. And then the big thing is, it's just like horse racing, where if a horse is a horse that wins a lot, then you put him out to stud. So like if JJ wins, we will have people approach us at the show, and they'll pay as much as $150 to $500 to have our goat for a day and have it breed with their goats.
Now the $100, you just get to go to dinner. There's nothing going on afterwards.
But for the higher end packages, there's Barry White and a little red wine.
But you're a goat pimp, is what you are.
Yeah, we do pimp out the goats. Yes, this is true.
I have heard that there actually, believe it or not, I'm not making this up, there is a market out there for horse semen.
Well, sure.
Black market, big
And
money.
Yeah. So yeah, when I heard that, I'm like, well, that's great, but I feel sorry for the person that has to extract it.
That's a job. That's a job for somebody. Did you never watch Yellowstone?
Oh
I
yeah,
have. I don't remember that now.
Last season, Jimmy takes the job at the 4 6s, and that's one of his responsibilities.
Love it. All right, guys, I gotta jump.
No one cares. All right, good.
Get ready.
Hey, thanks everybody for joining us. Check out Hit the Big Man. He is gone. Dude, he's just gone. He got out of here faster than a jumping goat. Jesus Christ. All right, everybody, thanks very much for watching. Hope you picked up some good information. Hope you learned a lot about baby goats and playing soccer in Mexico. For myself, for Tom, for Wes, for whatever his name was, for Loud. You guys have a great week. Good luck on all your plays. We'll be back next week. Same bad time, same bad channel, and do it all again. Take care. We'll see you then.